The scene that we've analysed is Jill and Lloyd's marriage crisis from the film Submarine.
The first question is, how is emotional distance between Jill and Lloyd conveyed both visually and through dialogue in this scene? When we first see Jill and Lloyd together, they are sat on different sides of the room with Oliver in between them. And when Jill is speaking about how she used to have long hair, Lloyd replies with a lot of and one-word answers, which causes her to get quite upset and defensive, especially when he tells her he doesn't like how she has her hair. There's also no eye contact. Jill never takes her eyes away from the TV and Lloyd just glances at her. She blames him for the idea of shaving her head, sounding rude and defensive and not looking at Lloyd as she leaves. The next time we see them together is in the morning at breakfast. Lloyd is totally withdrawn at this point. He doesn't want to have a conversation with her. He's blunt towards her, making no eye contact with her at all. Probably the main reason for the emotional distance between them is the lack of emotion from Lloyd, as he's always at the same level. He never expresses any anger, or when Oliver imagines Jill leaving, he feels that Lloyd would be exactly the same, still calm, polite, and probably would even help her pack.
Question 2 is, what signifiers are there that Oliver sympathises with his father more than his mother? The way that Oliver places the blame on his mother, as she's the one potentially having an affair, strongly indicates less affection towards her than his father. Additionally, when he imagines his father calmly helping his mother leave, Lloyd is made to look like the innocent one being abandoned. It's also notable that when Oliver imagines they're breaking up, it's his mum that's leaving his dad, not his dad that's leaving his mum. Therefore, we see he pities his dad more, as it's his mum being portrayed as heartless. Another example of his sympathy with his father is when he dismisses his mum, saying, "I'd like a moment with my father if that's okay," clearly displaying more favour towards his father. Finally, the way he addresses his parents differently speaks volumes. With his father, he informs him of everything he knows from spying on his mother, although Lloyd hasn't condoned this, desperately trying to help him even though he doesn't appear to want to talk. Whereas with his mother, who's very keen to talk, he's blunt and even reprimands her with some of the same things his father said to him. For example, "You really shouldn't spy on people," showing he sees his father as a role model.
Question 3 is, how are Lloyd and Jill represented in this scene? During the scene, at the beginning, Oliver gives a voiceover saying about his parents' relationship and talks about how secretive and dishonest his mum is towards both him and Lloyd, his dad, and the fact that he thinks she might be having an affair. This gives off the impression that the parents' relationship is not at its strongest and that Jill is quite a strong and self-kept character. When they're sitting in the lounge, she comes across as being quite confrontational. She wants an argument, but he doesn't, and just wants to avoid any conflict that may occur. Overall, in this scene, you can see that Jill is craving excitement in the relationship. As for Lloyd, is just being unresponsive and doesn't feel the same way.